Bar Packers release. Former Texans fullback Andrew Beck. After narrow victory over Houston, the Green Bay Packers made a notable roster move just 2 days after their thrilling 24-22 victory over the Houston Texans at Lambeau Field, releasing fullback Andrew Beck from their practice squad. The win, which marked the Packers' third consecutive victory, came down to the wire as newly signed kicker Brandon McManus sealed the game with a clutch, game-winning field goal. Though it was a hard-fought battle, Green Bay's perseverance allowed them to keep pace in the fiercely competitive NFC North. Following the close win, the Packers made a decision to part ways with veteran fullback Andrew Beck. The move was announced on Tuesday, with Andy Herman of the Pack-A-Day podcast pointing out that Beck had already used up all 3 of his allowed practice squad call-ups for the season, which limited the team's options for him moving forward. Beck had played in 3 games as part of his practice squad elevation, including the recent victory over his former team, the Houston Texans. It was an interesting twist, considering Beck spent the entire 2023 season with the Texans before signing with Green Bay. During his time in Houston, the 28-year-old fullback recorded 11 receptions on 13 targets for 55 yards and 2 touchdowns. Beck also made a name for himself with an electrifying 90-yard kick return touchdown in a game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, a play that stood out as one of the season's most exciting special teams moments. This offseason, Beck re-signed with the Texans but started training camp on the physically unable to perform (PUP) list. He was eventually activated from the list in late July, but after failing to make the final 53-man roster, he was cut in August. The Packers then picked him up and added him to their practice squad 3 days later. Now, with Beck's release, the Packers have an open spot on their practice squad. Given the team's depth needs, especially with injuries impacting several positions, it will be interesting to see how they choose to fill the vacancy. Whether they target another fullback, a tight end, or even a special teams ace, the Packers will be looking to maintain their momentum as they continue their march through the season, eyeing a playoff spot in a tough division. As the Packers prepare for their next matchup, all eyes will be on how they adjust their roster to ensure continued success, while Beck's future in the NFL remains uncertain.